not to watch During Ever After, bro, you're missing a lot. Hi fam, I'm Tolu of God and you're welcome to my channel. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're just seeing this video for the first time, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for that. Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing During Ever After for some time. Like, I feel like I should have done that in a very long time, but I've been procrastinating and I've been thinking about it. Like, I just, sometimes get consumed in my thoughts and I'm like, I want to do a review, Guys, if you've not watched During Ever After, bro, you're missing a lot. It's an amazing movie. It's written by Pastor Lajo Iron and directed by her also. It's a movie that so many of us can relate with. In fact, so if you are this kind of person that belongs to this school of thought, does happily ever after ever exist? Then you have to see During Ever After. Yeah. So During Ever After episode 1 is basically about, a love story of Grace and Shuto. And the whole episode, talks about how Grace was a very, very angry wife, hot and bitter wife, and she had so much hurt and bitterness towards her husband, due to the fact that her husband was not able, to give her the attention she needed at some point in her life. Even basically, the husband was practically not always available. Why? Because he is always, he's a pilot, like I said earlier, so he's always like flying around, he's so much consumed with his work and his career. So he along the way, he missed it. He didn't give his wife much attention that she needed. And no, that's not part of the movie, but I'm just saying, like, every woman loves when a man gives her time. So Shaitan did not do that. That was what caused the bitterness and the hurt, Grace had for Shaitan. And it's a movie that every family can relate with, everybody can relate with such incidents. It makes it it now makes it so personal, to me especially. And there are a lot of lessons to be learned at every episode. So I would encourage you not to miss no episode of During Ever After, because at each episode there is always one or two things to learn from it. Now for episode 1, what I learned about marriage in episode 1 is, communication. Lack of communication was one of those things that, that broods, or like that fits the hurt and bitterness Grace had for Shaitan. At the point where Grace asked Shaitan that, what would you like for dinner? What would you love me to make for dinner? And Shaitan was like, don't worry, I'm going to grab something on my way. That's actually like one of those things that fuels the hatred Grace had for, Shaitan, because at that point, Grace was so, was not happy with the response, and she wanted to just, make her man happy, and she just wanted to prepare a dinner for her husband. But her so-called husband did not, even notice that green light or whatever they call it. But then he, probably due to his ignorance or negligence, it was due to his negligence, and she was so hot. And at that point, I feel like if Grace had, communicated her feelings to her husband, I feel the situation would not be that worse. And then she decided to keep everything to herself, and then she tried to be comfortable with herself. She tried to distance herself from her husband, and at that point, another guy, took advantage of the fact that she is not emotionally strong and started flirting, and the husband got to know, and the whole story was you need to it was like, oh wow, it was like the marriage was coming to an end. But that is where the factor of God and spiritual father and counselor comes into place, because I tell you, that's one of the reasons why, most Christian home are standing today. It's not because they don't have their differences or they don't have their issues or challenges, but it's because every time challenges or issues shows up, who is that person that they run to? The person they talk to, the person they run to when issues or challenges comes up, is the most important and determining factor of every family that's going to last long. Yeah. So if you have not watched episode 1 of During Never After, you need to do that right now. There's still so much more to learn from that episode, so please go watch it. Go watch it and come gist me in the comment section. I want to know, what other thing have you learned from During Never After. And if it has really blessed you like it blessed me, then you will share with your friends and family. Yeah. Take care, and I love you. See you in another episode of my review. Da, 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 da.